What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back here with the Packard. It's really all I've been doing lately, but today I'm going to get this thing to move under its own power. Alright, so quick little update. The master cylinder rebuild that I showed you guys in a short video, that's been completed. And I also put new wheel cylinders on the car, new brake hoses, and I had to rebend the two front brake hard lines. So it's been a little bit of an undertaking, but nothing too bad. It's just hard when I come home from work to get out here and mess with this thing. So what I have left to do is just make sure that nothing's leaking and put some wheels on this thing, get it back on the ground. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ignition switch, which I mounted up here so that I could monitor everything under the hood when I was firing it up. I'm going to extend these wires and move it inside and mount it to something so that I can sit in the seat, crank this thing up, and drop it in gear. So that's what I'm going to do out here tonight. This video is not going to be very long. It would just be a bunch of time lapse if I set up the camera. So I need to get wheels back on this thing, lower it down off the jack stands, and extend these wires. And then I'm going to put this thing in reverse and see what happens. Alright, so got it on the ground, and what I'm going to do now is run the wires for the ignition switch inside. And I forgot something. I have to secure my fuel jug. I'll probably put it up here, that way it's nowhere near the engine, and just run the fuel line to it. Just so that when I fire it up, it's got enough fuel to stay running. Still no coolant in this. I know the radiator has a hole in it, so I'm not going to mess with that right now, but like I said, the goal tonight, just to get it to back out and pull back in under its own power.
20 minutes later.
The fuel line I have on it wouldn't reach all the way up here, so the fuel jug's here, safely out of the way. This thing normally fires up pretty easy, so I've run the wires inside to the temporary ignition switch. All the tires have air in them, so all that's left to do is to hop in this thing and fire it up and throw it in gear. So I am a little bit nervous, so we'll see how easily it starts. The throttle linkage is a little touchy, but I know I can hit the key and it'll normally idle on its own. So I'm going to set the camera down and hop in this thing and cross your fingers. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you guys saw me struggling to get the car started, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Looking for some hose clamps right now, which I don't know if I have any. But the fuel filter that I had on the carburetor actually ended up being clogged. So this is the factory style Packard fuel filter, and I just took it off to blow through it, and I can't blow any air through it, so of course no fuel is going to go through it. So in the sketchiest way I can imagine, I am bypassing the filter here, so I'm just going to grab some clamps, clamp that on, and then hopefully this thing will stay running. What do you know? It moves. But what Jeff didn't do before he backed it out of the garage is to make sure that it moves forward, which is kind of important. So just real quick, I'm gonna sweep the floor just so when I'm laying under the car, I'm not rolling through all this crap that I've knocked off of it. And I'll go back outside and fire it up and bring it back in, hopefully. I guess that's it. It moves under its own power. Put it in reverse, it backed out, brakes work. I'm not sure the brakes are holding vacuum like they're supposed to. I think the vacuum diaphragm in the master cylinder is good, but there's a vacuum can under the hood that's supposed to be like a vacuum reserve, and I think it's leaking because the brake pedal is really hard. And you guys know if your brake pedal is really hard and you have vacuum brakes, it usually means the vacuum diaphragm isn't working. And it's actually harder to depress the brakes than if you had a manual brake setup. So I'm going to look into that in the next couple of days. But yeah, this was like my goal before I go on vacation. So I am going to be on vacation, so you guys won't see a video from me for like a week. I'm going to try to film something this weekend that I can put out, you know, while I'm on vacation, just to kind of keep you guys entertained. But yeah, Packard, man, it moves. So that's really exciting. It's been a few minutes since I pulled it back in, but you should have seen the smile on my face. It's just cool, and I'm super happy that it works. So the brakes do work, the transmission works, it runs. So I don't really know what to do next. I think what I'll probably do is the sheet metal work, and then I'll wire it. I would like to get the brakes feeling better, so that's going to probably be at the top of the list. But good day. So it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to go inside and eat some dinner. I want to thank you guys for watching, and always be sure that you check me out on Instagram. I'm looking for some more followers on there, and I post on there a lot more often than I post a video on YouTube, so you guys can kind of keep up with the process of the Packard and stuff that I'm doing up at RPM and whatnot. So be sure you check me out on Instagram. And then the new website is up for high PSI TV merchandise. You can get hats, koozies, t-shirts. I have a few hoodies left. So go on there, check it out, let me know what you think, comment below, and let me know what you think about the Packard. Throw me a comment down below. And I want to thank you guys for watching again, and we'll see you next time.